What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video. The show may be gone, but there is still so much to talk about, including a debate over which timeline or even multiverse dimension the show is in. Today we will be discussing a deleted scene or other deleted scenes that were actually taken out from the finale, and one even made a huge direct reference to Infinity War itself. So as always, if you do enjoy the video, please consider subscribing with notifications on and dropping a like down below if you did enjoy the video. The finale has sort of thrown the spanner in the works for the MCU timeline, as the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. started off being a companion piece for the movies. I personally expected it to build on things mentioned in the movies and flesh out things and comic characters from the movies that the movies just didn't have time for. However, as the ratings dropped and the show changed dramatically post Winter Soldier, it distanced itself majorly from the MCU, and the MCU itself started to drift away from the awesome Netflix shows and also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. And with less and less crossovers and cameos, it just seemed like it was its own thing. I mean, introducing Inhumans is beyond freaking massive. We even got an Inhumans TV show which was absolutely atrocious, and nothing seemed to be connected after Kevin Feige said, "Everything's connected." Wow, what a lie. There were hints, however, of being connected with Ghost Rider's opening of portals being the same as Doctor Strange's sling ring. Thanos the Mad Titan was also mentioned by Cassius in Season 5, and also the events of New York were briefly spoken about in passing, with the Season 5 finale essentially taking place just as the snap was happening. However, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 7 finale had one massive last main MCU reference in the bag that was sadly cut for time. One of the people behind the show, Jed Whedon, actually spoke about how Endgame's time travel meant there were other timelines and dimensions. The Ancient One explained this the best as she tells Bruce Banner that if he was to take the Time Stone, it would create a new timeline and that Earth would then be destroyed. However, he has the smart idea of returning to the exact moment that he took it as if nothing happened. The show was actually going to deal with the snap. Jed Whedon actually said this: "Some of the stuff they did with time travel in Endgame indicated that there are other timelines where other adventures are occurring. We're following the multiverse rule. The only way that someone survives Thanos' snap in the movies is to go into the quantum realm. We originally did plan to give that a mention because we used the quantum realm to move between timelines, but it got cut for time." Now, I spoke about the team surviving the blip in my previous video. I did think it was somehow convenient that they all survived, and here the show was going to have an explanation as to how they all survived the blip, because they could have simply stayed in the quantum realm as Thanos just went snap. But the timeline is a bit of a mess, to be honest. The snap actually takes place in spring 2018, right at the finale of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5. They then jump 1 year into 2019 into Season 6, and then in the finale of Season 7, just as they go back to the finale of Season 6, they jump 1 year to see how the team are getting on into 2020. Now, the show could never have known what to do in a post-snap world, as Endgame was the biggest lockdown of spoilers ever, and it's the biggest cinema event of all time. They weren't or didn't know what was happening in a post-snap world. There's two options. We pretend that after coming back in Season 5 from the future, they are in another timeline. Or we can assume the snap happened, everyone got blipped, and we are currently in year 2 of the post-snap world as of Season 7, but no one ever talked about it. There are merits to both theories, with another timeline explaining why the world didn't look desolate like we saw in Endgame, and people turning to dust was never actually mentioned. I mean, people were crying over their salads, dude. However, why even mention a deleted scene where they're going to avoid the snap? The fact the deleted scene existed means that they are in the prime timeline, as they would have known the snap happened, and if they end up in a time following the Chronocoms where the snap was about to happen, that would mean that they are going to possibly die, or at least 50% of them, or none of them. I'm going to go with that in my opinion, but it's so malleable, it's open to interpretation in my opinion, so it's open for anyone's debate. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Now moving on, we had another deleted scene and character that would have been so cool to have. Now MODOK was originally going to be used in the Season 7 story, but was taken from them. It's rumoured that he's going to be included in the Black Widow post-credit scene, and then a villain for Ant-Man 3, which I think would be very cool, and having such a kitschy, weird character like that would really work. But who is MODOK? George Tarleton was chosen by the Scientist Supreme of AIM, that is Advanced Idea Mechanics, who needed a living computer to work on the Cosmic Cube. He was turned into MDOC, Mobile Organism Designed Only for Computing. Tarleton instead turned on everyone, killing them all, and made himself the Scientist Supreme because he's a living computer. He changed his name to MODOK, the actual K, which would now mean killing. AIM exists obviously in the MCU as of Iron Man 3. And, well, we even had AIM technology used heavily in the earlier seasons, with Extremis being used. So, in my opinion, I think they were going to go to a time frame when AIM was at its peak and essentially discover that MODOK actually exists. But that is such a huge character to really use, to be honest. So, it would be a bit too much, and I think introducing someone so big like that would be a bit crazy. But then again, they've done crazier things. And lastly, we have one more scene that was actually cut. In my opinion, it's the coolest of all three, where we would have had Sousa go undercover as a cop in New York, just as the Avengers Battle of New York was happening. The actor actually played a cop there in that movie, and it's been one of my favourite fan fiction parts of the show as to having him there. I like to opine the idea that, well, he would go through time and then he would stay in 2012 and try and help. But that's just me. That is some real kind of wishy-washy fan hopefulness. So it's just a shame that was cut, to be honest. But let me know which three would you have wanted in there as well. And I've really enjoyed making this video. I love making these kind of deleted scene types of videos. So I would appreciate a like down below if you did enjoy it. It helped us out massively. And do consider subscribing with notifications on. And also check out our Discord as well to join us, have some fun, and just chat and create an awesome community of positivity, love, and nerdiness. But that's it. I'll see you soon, and goodbye.